Hey guys, welcome back again from Tampa Bay. Today, as promised in the previous video, I've got a review of this really sweet custom Triumph Cafe Racer. This is made from a 2016 T100. Just trying to find my way out of here. It's a little bit of a maze. Just getting used to the bike. Only got about 2 blocks on it so far. Very different from what I'm used to. It's not 100% done, but it is darn close. He said the last thing he wants to do on it here is rear sets, and I agree, it absolutely needs them. It still has standard controls, but with this kind of lay down, holy moly, is it cramped. Oh, so my knees are just tucked up. You can see how close they are. But surprisingly, really comfortable. He does have a really good suspension on it. He's got some modifications done to it that we showed in the intro there. Really nice ride down the road. I was afraid it was going to be just incredibly stiff, but it's not. These big tires are really soaking up even the moderate bumps really well, so it's actually quite comfortable. Clutch engagement is good, a little bit different from my Yamaha's. It's right at the end. Actually, I think it could use a bit of adjustment, but I'm used to it already here. All right, open sesame. Thank you. Got some beautiful stock gauges on here. I thought they were aftermarket. They're VDO from the factory. Just a beautiful automotive look to them. It is raining today, so I apologize if there's any drops on the camera. And I am going to get wet. That's just the way it goes. But I'm going to give this bike a little bit of a shakedown here. Just have some fun. Oh, he's got to tighten these mirrors. That one is just ready to fall off. Alright, we'll leave that alone. These, by the way, are the same mirrors that... Oh, that one's loose too. God! Same ones I put on the FZ09, the Rhizomas. Reverse retros. Awesome mirrors. I see we need some fuel, and there is no fuel gauge on this guy. So I guess I'll just pop in a couple gallons and see where we're at. Dirt, dirt, dirt. Careful, careful, careful. Okay, now let's get out of traffic. I don't know if Triumphs come with self-canceling signals or not, and no, they don't. All right. Love the exhaust note. He's got a full exhaust on this, no cats, and they sound absolutely fantastic. It's air-cooled. You've got a real nice visceral thump to it. Steering is rather unique. Under throttle, it doesn't want to turn. Doesn't have much of a tip in, surprisingly, but it tracks straight as an arrow. Really am impressed with the suspension, how plush it is, but yet stiff and controlled. So the height on this, I'm 6'2", 32-inch inseam, is actually fairly tall. It's different than it looks. You look at it sitting there and it looks short. But because it has such a wide spread, it's eating up my inseam. I'm flat footing, but I have nothing underneath, no gap between me and the seat. These pegs are so tall that it's a little bit of a chore to actually pick your feet up and put them on them. I'm also fat. Mirrors are nice and clear, but I can only see directly behind me. They're at a position where you absolutely have to do a head check to see anything next to you. Just goes with the territory of a cafe racer. Something else that goes along with a cafe racer is you are going to be putting a lot of weight on your wrists. That's just the way it goes. You don't have the tank up high like a sport bike, so you can't lay your body on the tank. And frankly, at this level of a lean over, I don't care how good your abs are, you're not completely holding yourself up. As we get up speed here, though, we do have a nice wind lift, so the weight is greatly diminished off my wrists. Bars are actually very nice. I'm not a huge cafe racer fan, however, these are in a great position. The angle, the drop, the distance, it actually fits me perfectly. I've got just a little bit of a bend in my elbows, and it's completely natural where my hands are falling on the controls. No complaints there whatsoever. The grips themselves, I think they're stock. Don't quote me on that though. They're a little unique. Normal grips are thin, cruiser grips are thick. These are a combination of both. They're actually barrel shaped. They're thin on the ends and thick in the center, and that's actually working really well here. As I put pressure down on my hands, gives it a bit of a land. That's nice. We have fully adjustable levers. They do look stock. I like that, and they are just luckily adjusted properly for my fingers. So either it's just pure coincidence, or Samir, the owner, has the same size hands I do. Love the growl out of this thing. It's great at idle and revving up through the range. Beautiful combination. No drone either. So not the fastest thing in the world, but certainly more than enough power to pass anything you need to. Oh yeah, much better in this wind. Hardly any pressure on my hands whatsoever. Very nice. No vibration at all on the bike. Absolutely smooth. I got nothing through the grips, nothing through the seat, nothing through the controls, nothing through the bars, surprisingly. Very nice feeling. The seat is rock hard. Luckily, the suspension and tires are soaking things up, but I don't think this is going to be a distance ride. Not surprised about it though. It looks the part. It is a beautiful looking seat, at least in my opinion, but it feels like a plank under my butt. Now at freeway speeds here, just under 80, we're at 4,500 RPM. It's a 5-speed transmission. Definitely a loud exhaust. You absolutely need earplugs for any kind of distance on this bike, which frankly everybody should be wearing anyway, but it is quite loud. You get off the throttle just a little bit and it quiets right up, but it does need, I'm at about 20% throttle to maintain speed, and the exhaust note does dramatically get louder. And when you open it past half, I can hear the intake howl. This has open pods, basically little K&N filters, and you hear that little howl hum as it opens up the intake butterflies. Decent torque here in top gear. It just starts to pull. Now we're in such a tuck position that it's not real dramatic. I'm going to stop in at the speedway here. I think it's a good place as any to put a little fuel in, just so I don't have to worry about it while I'm out today. When you're not under throttle, turn in is really nice. Completely neutral. No problem whatsoever. Oh, somebody is smoking weed. Wow. That is not a skunk. Now, I do not know if it takes premium or not, so I'm going to err on the caution side and put in premium just in case. I'll just put in a couple gallons. Won't hurt anything to put in premium, but it will hurt something if you need premium and don't. Okay, and we're off. Low speed handling is very good. You can definitely tell the front tire is on the thick side, has a little bit of a mushy front end, but balance is very good. Likes to be short shifted a little bit. It runs out of steam about 6,000 RPM, and the owner did say that he was thinking of putting a different cam in for better top end power. I think that would definitely make a good difference. Let's go down here, get out of traffic. I'm not really sure where the heck I'm going. Haven't been in this area in many years, and it is completely different. None of this was here the last time I was around here. Dead end street. That figures. Let's try a U-turn. No gear position indicator, but this is very easy to hear the exhaust note on. Go down into first. Oh, it dips right in. totally easy. Great rear brake control. He did say that he changed the brakes to the EBH sintered pads, which are the same things coincidentally I put on the FZ, and I can tell you that that makes a huge difference to any bike that needs a quick boost in braking performance. Just transforms the way it brakes. This feels great, even though it's a single disc on the front. Let's do a little emergency braking. I mean, it could definitely use more, but it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel like, oh, you have to upgrade it. It just feels heavy, like there's a little bit of performance in the brakes missing. That's it. There's no fade. Definitely needs a 6th gear. 60 miles an hour, 3,500 RPM. It's right in that howl zone. I think if the RPMs are a little bit lower, the exhaust would not only sound better, but it's got enough low in torque where a 6th gear would be completely natural. Now, I think the next generation of these did add the 6th gear. This was right on the cutoff where they went to water-cooled engines and ride-by-wire throttles and ride modes, a 6th gear, and all that kind of modern stuff. This is still a throwback to the old-school Triumphs, which is fine. I mean, it's working. And if you can get a deal on one, especially a leftover new like he got, bam, there you go. Oh, the rain is coming down again. I've been riding in and out of it all day today. Might have to cut this shorter than I intended to because it's starting to come down hard. But that's okay. I just want to do a quick little fun review. So the way these pegs are, if I position my feet where they would be on rear sets, it would be super comfy. But right now, my legs are hitting the sides of the tank and it makes them a little wide. If I just dip it down, they go right into this cutout, into the tank itself, right underneath the curve, and it's super comfy. That would be a great upgrade to do on this for sure. Whoa, this is all new too. Like I said, it's been years since I've been down here. And this is why I have complete waterproof electronics when I ride. Well, with the exception of the Cena 30K, but it's very water resistant. I get a lot of people that ask me, you know, why don't you use the Cardo because it's waterproof. I went years riding in absolute torrential downpours with my Cena gear before I had any issue. This is absolutely nothing. I'm not worried about it at all. Let's go down here. Why not? No idea if this is residential or what, but we'll find out. I know there's some back road that goes to the mall, and that should be pretty empty. This is not what I thought it was. Maybe it was at that light. Yeah, real nice low speed control. A little hard to... Is that neutral? Nope, that's just a real far clutch engagement. Definitely needs a little bit of adjustment on the clutch engagement. That's just a minor thing though. Great low end torque. Very smooth engagement. Definitely not a slipper clutch. Scoots the rear end there if you let it out a little far, a little quick. I think this is the one I was thinking of. Very easy to hang off the bike just to get into the corners. Controls are very nicely placed even at this extreme angle. Very easy to hit with your thumb. Everything's in the right spot as far as muscle memory goes, which is typical for a Triumph. They're really good about that stuff. Very smooth going through the corners. You don't even know you're turning. Hardly any input needed on the bars. You really just have to lean your body a little bit and it falls right in. That kind of goes with the territory of having such low bars. Really makes a dramatic difference just on the position of your hands to a bike. I know that on a stock configuration you do have to give it a little bit of input. A lot of pressure on the bars as you decelerate or brake. You really have to brace yourselves with your arms and use your core, squeeze the tank here. And again, that would really be benefited by the rear sets to get a better grip on the tank with your knees. If I were him right now, I would put on some tank protectors because you're really contacting the paint here on the side. Foot controls are at an odd angle, but again, that could be fixed by the rear sets. because I'm leaned over so far, everything is too high up. It's a little difficult to make a downshift, and you do have to pick your foot up a bit to hit the rear brake. Now we put progressive springs in the front forks here, and that is definitely contributing to how comfortable the ride is. You got the really nice soft soak up the bump kind of ride until you, say for example, get on the brakes, and then it firms right up and it stays really flat. I think that's a fantastic addition. It's really a cheap way of getting a very high-end ride. Very much, I have to say, like the active suspension in something like the new Ducati V4. Very reminiscent of that way it rides. Let's give it a full throttle run. Not bad, not bad at all. Okay. It's really coming down. Time to head back. I'm gonna have to wring myself out as it is on the way home. So there you go, guys. This was a really fun little ride. I know it's short on video. I've been out about 45 minutes. Had a blast. Definitely not the lean angle for me, just because, like I said, I'm fat. But if you're a thinner guy, hey, cafe racers are really cool. And I'll tell you, this is a fantastic platform to make one out of. Surprisingly, even after this time, I don't have any hot spots on the seat. It is still firm and hard, that's what she said. But I don't have any pain in my butt. Very cool. Thank you very much to Samir for allowing me to ride this for the day, even though I rented it. I had a blast. We'll see you next time, guys.